Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The scams to watch out for on Amazon Prime Day. Plus, are Prime Day savings actually as great as we think they are? The fascinating way different generations use emojis. Is it really a universal language? A man goes to extreme measures, jumping into the ocean to avoid giving his girlfriend his phone passcode. Do you give your partner your passcode? And a single mother to a daughter with cerebral palsy is here to share the remarkable way she's aiming to change how we view disabilities in children's books.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Oh, welcome to DBL. For more than a week now, we've been talking politics, and not today.
No, please, no more.
No, Tori, you know you live and breathe it.
What?
You live.
Stop.
Are you going to be okay today?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, it's all right. Today we are going to talk all about Amazon Prime, because millions of our viewers, all of us look forward to Amazon Prime Day, and today is the second and last day to get Prime Day deals. It's also big business for Amazon, who pays big-name celebrities like Megan Thee Stallion to promote it, but there is a dark side. The U.S. Senate is out with an investigation that found Amazon Prime Day is, quote, a major cause of injuries for the warehouse workers who make it possible. It's also a big chance for scammers to take advantage of all the people buying things on Amazon. So here's the question. Do you go deal hunting on Amazon during this event? And do you think it's a good deal for consumers, or is it just really a good way to boost profits? Speaking of profits, I saw that number, Tori. It's a lot of zeros, a lot of digits.
A lot of digits. Thank you for that. Yeah, Amazon makes 8 times as much on Prime Day than any other day, which they make a lot of money. So global sales revenue for Prime Day was $12.9 billion, okay, in 2023. And last year for Amazon, the entire year was $574.8 billion. Wow. So that's a lot for one day. I do want to say this, though, Sam. During Prime Day in 2019, total injury rate was close to 45 workers out of 100 getting hurt. So that's almost like 1 out of 2. I do want people to just know who Chris Smalls is. He started the unions at Amazon and has worked incredibly hard to push out, and Amazon has pushed back, and they're under investigation for so. That's why you have a union, to protect you and things like this. When 1 out of 2 of you is getting hurt, you believe in a union. So I have my own say, and I just wanted to give Chris Smalls his due because he worked very hard to start the labor unions at Amazon.
Well, I'm glad that Chris Smalls started a labor union at Amazon. Kudos to him.
Yeah.
But the fact that these workers, 1 and 2, are getting injured is unacceptable.
I agree.
When Amazon is turning over $500 billion a year in profits, and your workers are being injured, and then you're forcing them to work overtime. So why not have a system where there are bonuses? People are going to say that this is socialistic, but these are the backbone of your entire bread and butter here. And the fact, again, I just want to underscore this, that these people are being injured, we need to think about that as consumers.
That's right.
Because I like to make sure that whatever I invest in, that I invest in something that I can feel good about. That's just me where I'm at my life right now.
And that's just you, sadly, Sam.
I knew you were going to say
just,
that.
you know, now granted it is the backbone of the bread and butter, but that was a turn of phrase that will stay with me to my last day. I just want to say that to my kids and walk away like, and you think about that. You know, honestly, people's, you know, the economy isn't great for everybody. And for as much as people will empathize with the workers, I don't think that's going to stop somebody from getting a flat screen for 40% off of what it should be. People in this economy, we are.
I don't blame the people. I'm just
I know
saying
you don't.
that the CEO should be paying a little bit more dough.
He absolutely should.
Nice
And that's
rhyme.
where those unions come in. But sadly, Erica, you know, at the end of the day, it's me and my family versus the world. And that's how a lot of people look at it.
Yes.
And to be a parent or be somebody to be like, we're on a budget, but for this one day, I can get that thing I know Erica really wants and I really want to buy for her. I think people are going to do it. And I think that's where we are.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody is guilty of speaking out of both sides of their mouth.
Right.
Because, I mean, from the time that you say, oh, well, I don't want to increase my carbon footprint, but I need my toothpaste to get here on Tuesday. And if the toilet paper doesn't get here until Wednesday, we'll just make 2 deliveries as opposed to consolidating it into 1 because we need these things right away. But I do find it interesting, just the psychology behind deals, because if you are in a situation where you weren't looking for a flat screen, but now you see one for 40% off and you buy one, are you really saving money? I know a lot of people have these systems in place in terms of like how they do Amazon Prime. Like a lot of people will put a bunch of things into their cart, see what that they need, see what goes down, and then they make their decisions from there. And
That's
I think
smart.
right,
That's
it
the
is
best
very
way,
smart.
really. Yeah.
Also, if it's something that you're constantly buying and you know that it's a monthly purchase, it makes a lot of sense if it gets 33% off to buy more than one.
Didn't last year you bought something and then you found out it was on sale on Amazon Prime Day?
I did.
And then you retroactively tried to get reimbursed?
I did not retroactively get reimbursed.
Did you try?
I did try, but I didn't get it.
Man, good for you, Cobb. Good
But
for
yeah,
you.
and it was like, I think like a $22 difference or something,
That's
which
big.
I would have been like, you could just hook a girl up with a
I also think we're not talking about a small elephant in the room with shopping, and that's buzzed or drunk shopping. Ooh. I think a lot of people have a couple glasses of wine, and you're probably frugal. 8 a.m. to 8:59, and then at 9 o'clock you're like, we only live once. And then next thing you know, you just bought a penguin that's also an umbrella holder.
Yeah, that's a Tori purchase.
Yes,
I did
absolutely.
purchase that yesterday.
Yeah, Tori has it in her backyard as we speak. Okay, so speaking of money, as you may have heard, Target stopped accepting checks at the beginning of the week. That's true, Tori. I'm sorry. For a lot of us, we remember writing checks to pay for groceries or other things at the retail stores. And if you're younger and have never written a check, you actually have a little piece of paper that you have to hand write with details like who you're paying, how much, written both numerically and also spelled out. So with this major retailer doing away with checks, do you think that this means that checks are on the way to becoming obsolete?
On the way?
Yes.
But what do you mean on the way?
They're gone.
No, but
I
I know a lot of older people, including my in-laws, that don't necessarily trust sending an electronic check. They feel much more comfortable tactile, hand and paper.
Yep, tactile.
Pen and paper. And I get
Pen and
it.
paper.
Pen and paper. They're all from the South for some reason. But I think I get that understanding, and they balance their checkbook. That is also a routine thing that they were taught. I don't know how to do that. I thought balancing was like holding it.
Stop it,
my
Tori.
God.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you this. All your older relatives are doing it the right way. I know that it seems arcane and archaic to write a check, but maybe this is just personal, but I feel like even just the physical act of putting pen to paper and writing out the amount in cursive of what you're spending, it makes it more real. I've always said this about college. The reason people don't take it seriously is because you don't ever see that money. I spent $200,000 at this school. Did you? Because all you did was send an email and sign an electronic signature, and you just spent probably more money than your grandparents, did in their working life. And the reason you don't realize that is because it's all digital. If you had to pay for college in 50s and count that out in front of somebody, you would take it a lot more seriously. And I think just the writing of the check lets you know, I'm Erica Cobb, I am spending this money for this reason. It gives you a chance to not do it, and it also gives you a chance to think about it a little bit rather than just clicking send.
So true.
You also mentioned cursive. We have a whole generation coming up who does not
cursive
write
is
in
so
cursive.
important.
Totally.
I know.
Yeah.
Checks give
I
me
don't know if
anxiety.
it's so important.
It is. It's a beautiful thing that we need to not let go.
What are you writing, sonnets to your husband?
Matter.
You know what? I saw a meme that says cursive is like a language holding hands.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah,
I do like that.
It's romantic.
Yeah, you're right.
I will say, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, when I relied heavily on checks, like in college, I would be so nervous, God forbid, like, oh, I hope it doesn't bounce. And that would happen, because then you would get like a $20 or a $32 return check fee. I'd have to call the person, I'm so sorry, and then wait till my next paycheck and then redeliver it.
I bought a couch from a friend, and my mother will never let me forget this. This was like 30 years ago. And he goes, I know you're not about to write me a check. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to write you a check. And he was like, nah, cash. And my mom was like, because you don't trust that the check is going to go through. That's so funny, David.
Yep.
I just got it.
Yeah, check cleared, we hope.
Oh, I got it.
And
Okay.
also, I really aged myself 30 years ago. I was
Erica.
Well, I was 13, so that's not correct math.
Look at you. Oh, yeah. See, you're hustling at 13. Coming up on DBL, do you give your partner the passcode to your phone? Wait until you see the extreme measures one guy went to avoid giving it to his girlfriend. And did you know it's World Emoji Day? We're talking all about the fascinating way different generations use emojis. Welcome back to DBL. If you didn't know, today is World Emoji Day, an unofficial holiday to celebrate all things emoji. And check this out. This fall, we have 8 new emojis that are coming to your smartphone, including a baggy eye face.
How'd they get a picture of me?
Fingerprint, a harp, shovel, and that's the flag of Sark, which is part of the islands in the English Channel. CNN is also out with a new survey that shows how different generations use emojis. So older generations are more likely to use them literally to convey their emotional tone, while younger generations use them to represent feelings in an ironic way. But everyone seems to agree on this emoji, the face with tears of joy. It's popular across generations. So how do you use your emojis, Al Jackson? You're a big emoji person.
I am, and I think I'm definitely older, and I use mine in a literal way. So I think, you know, if my kids haven't texted me back, I'll have the little black guy behind the laptop. Just at the top of his head, I'm like, what's up? Come on now, talk to me. I don't know, what would you use a turnip for? I kept looking at the new radish.
What did you garden? What did you get from your harvest?
Turn up.
Oh.
Turn up for what?
Oh, no.
I thought it was about gardening.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right up until the end.
I would think so.
Yes.
Turning it up on a Tuesday, right?
Oh, I thought it was about gardening.
It's going down.
Erica, what do you use?
I use a lot of purple hearts.
You do?
Yeah.
You do this one a lot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do the head, or I'll, this one.
Yeah, you do
That's
that one
more
a lot.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like, what's up?
I still don't. I use this guy. This is my on brand.
You're not big on emojis.
No, I find them just like, I think it's so ironic that they're like hieroglyphics and we've come full circle again. But I do think I like to use the, I don't understand the one with both tears falling. Is that happy or sad?
That's laughing really hard. That's what I thought.
I use both.
Okay.
Mainly like, oh my gosh, look at how beautiful Sophie was as a kid, and then just sobbing.
That's sobbing? Okay, it's not
But like in a happy sob.
in a happy way.
That's a lot of happy tears.
Okay.
I think that's too much. I think it's got to be something that's
too much.
hilarious.
I'm a lot.
You said that you like the old oak tree. And then,
Oh, I can't wait for the new oak tree. Can we
but you
take a look
couldn't
at
think
it?
of one use for it.
What do you mean I'm going to just put it on everything?
But
To me,
people
it
will stop texting you.
To me, it reminds me of Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Maybe Halloween with an owl and a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Woo.
Perfect. Yep. Okay.
I don't think that that's a thing.
What?
What emoji would you use for when Tori insulted me earlier before the show started and said, "What color is that jacket? Mouse brown?" It was so funny.
Oh my gosh,
and hurtful.
Thank you.
So what emoji would you use for the
Crying, laughing.
sarcasm?
You know what I do? Nailed it. I would do the nailed it one.
Tori. Good job, girl. You get him. Coming up on DBL, a man goes to extreme measures. Oh my gosh, jumping into the ocean to avoid giving his girlfriend his phone passcode. Do you give your partner your passcode? Yes, welcome back. We have a question for you. Do you share your passcode with your partner? Well, one Florida man went to extreme measures not to give the passcode to his partner. He actually jumped into the ocean with his phone rather than just giving her his passcode. So this got us thinking, do you share your passcode with your partner? And if someone won't, is that a red flag? Erica.
If I asked my husband for his passcode and he jumped into the ocean, yeah, that is a screaming red flag.
You swam away.
Yeah, we have each other's passcodes. I've never gone into my husband's phone. Although, I was saying this weekend, we had to pay a contractor and he couldn't figure out what we paid him last time on his Venmo. So he handed me the phone and I was going through like the Venmo history because he couldn't figure out how to do it. And this name kept coming up. Beautiful woman.
Very.
And it was a lot of money.
Yeah, and she was young and vibrant.
And I was like, who the hell is so-and-so? And it turned out that she was the daughter of another contractor. I was lining up those dates like,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
that checks out.
So to that point, number one, okay, before I get actually to this other point, I just quickly want to go to you and Al. Do you know your partner's passcode?
Obvi.
Okay, so stay. Do you?
No.
No.
Does
Why?
she?
She would, yeah, probably. I don't care.
Okay.
Like, yeah, there's
All right.
nothing.
He's different.
So
He's built
let's,
different.
now here's the second part. Let's say you do have it. Do you snoop?
No, but no. You really got to.
That seems like
sounded
yes.
like a liar.
Yeah, that's 100% yes.
No. You know when Brooks is watching vinyl videos, like no, hardcore, no. But if you are picking up someone's phone, like I had a motivational person write me every day named Corey, and he did the same thing. Who the hell is Corey? And I think that's fine. I think it's a red flag if you can't openly look at your person's phone. I think that is a red flag.
I don't think that you should. And
I think you shouldn't. You should allow the privacy.
But I think a lot of people do,
You
and
do.
a lot of people will. And the thing is, if you, let's use the landscaper example that you use. If you were looking at that name because you thought something nefarious was happening, which is very plausible, but they say when you go looking for something, you're going to find
see it, yeah.
And once you guys have a strong relationship, but if Anthony was a different kind of guy, once I'm like, oh, you thought I was, it just tinges the relationship a little bit. That's why I don't go through my girl's phone, and she wouldn't go through mine. It's just not I think it's a bad omen.
Well said.
We've had the same passcode since, Mark and I have been together since 2004. Ooh, 20 years. Right. But we've had, I feel like, the same passcodes for so long. We just know each other's passcodes. But I've never once seen Mark looking through
Yeah,
my phone.
wouldn't that be weird?
I've never wanted to look through his phone. I guess.
Well, you said I've never wanted to, but that didn't say
What?
You never have.
In the past, I've definitely snooped, not looking for anything nefarious, just curious how he handled certain situations. How did he respond to my dad? How did he respond to my mom? Oh, good job. No, he always impresses me. So he's just such a man of few words when he writes. I just want to make sure that I'm overly a people pleaser.
Right.
And when it comes to elders, especially, I have such a high standard of being formal. Like I still write my mom and dad formally. I don't just use jargon.
We're not talking about moms and dads. Most couples, you're not looking to see how they responded to your mom. You're looking to find out who was the pretty girl that came up 4 times out of 6. But the question is, once you've looked, is the relationship as it was over?
Yeah, because pretend the phone
I
is
think
a
that's
room.
erosion.
It's a room. Pretend it's a room in your house, and you've told that person this is, you're opening that room, you're breaking that line, you're crossing that trust, and when you feel a violation, that is hard to repair, extremely hard to repair. And to me, the phone, I don't know, it's a private.
I think it's more
space.
of a younger thing. Am I wrong? Maybe people in their early 20s and then you kind of grow out of that.
I think everybody's kind of self-conscious and not as confident as maybe we outwardly project. And if you don't feel confident and maybe the romance hasn't been there, people look. And I wonder that once you look,
that's the first step.
Is your relationship forever changed? Because I don't think you think it will be. But once I found out that you're going through my phone, even though I've been straight and narrow, I'm going to look at you differently.
Yeah, exactly.
So the relationship by default will be different.
It does almost beg the question, what do you have to hide?
Right.
Because you're looking at assuming that I have something to hide.
Right.
It's iPhone, not you phone.
Okay.
I like that. I wish I didn't.
We will be right back. Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments in regard to passcodes. Ravens fan says, I think it depends on how long you've been with the person. Gigi says, yes, passcode is none ya business. Yes, Gigi. Megan says, I know my husband's, but he can't remember my 7-digit one.
Seven's a long one.
Smart. Julia says, my dog is my partner, and I share all my passwords with him, but he could care less. No opposable thumbs. I love it. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show on Facebook or at dailyblastlive.com. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here's what's ahead. A mother and author is sharing how she shares her experiences with parenting a disabled child so others feel less alone. And Joe Manganiello is calling out Sofia Vergara over the reason she says they divorced. We're going to talk all about it. Was it about the baby, not being able to have children? Who is telling the truth? And some other celebrity divorces as well.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. We have a few celebrity divorce updates. So we're going to begin with Sofia Vergara's ex, Joe Manganiello. In an interview with Men's Journal, Joe disputed Sofia's claim that they actually broke up because he wanted kids. He said earlier in the relationship they did try to have kids. It did not work out, but in the end, they just grew apart. Meantime, J-Lo and Ben spent their second wedding anniversary on opposite ends of the country. Jen was seen riding her bike in the Hamptons while Ben was at work in LA. But a lot of people are talking about former flip or flop star Christina Hall. She filed for divorce from her third husband, Josh Hall. He also filed his own divorce papers asking for spousal support and the rights for their HGTV shows that they developed together. They were married in 2022. She was previously married to Ann Anstead, who is now dating Renee Zellweger. But remember this, we talked about it on the show. She and Josh are now set to star in a new reality show called The Flip Off with Christina's other ex, Tarek El Moussa, and his new wife, Heather. So 2 topics here. Is it a good idea she's worked with most of her exes now, doesn't seem to have worked out. 1, do you think that could be the demise of a relationship? And also, a lot of our viewers have brought up, and in general, if you go online, that both J-Lo and Christina,
Don't know.
one or the other,
Yes.
okay, Christine, or are serial monogamous. Is that a good idea too, or do you take space for yourself? Tori.
I can speak on the serial monogamy because
Okay.
that is me since high school, since 8th grade. It was just in a relationship.
Have you ever been alone since 8th grade?
No, not really. No.
But you've only married one person.
Yeah,
I think
and-
it's
yeah.
different when you are marrying and divorcing and marrying, divorcing,
Yeah.
rather than dating and divorcing.
That's true. But I will say this, please find time to look into find yourself, because I think when I'm really quiet in a room, I don't really know how to talk to myself because we don't know each other. We're a bit of strangers. And it can be really helpful to be your most self-compassionate, most understanding friend because you're with yourself forever. So I am working on that now. I'm 42.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
It's really great.
hey, and then I hear, hey, and it's kind of quiet in there. And you just got to sit with it and be open and be really humble about it.
Yeah. What do you think, Erica?
I'm definitely a serial monogamist as well.
What about working with an ex or your husband? Would you want to tackle that?
No.
So give us some insight. Do you feel like that would cause problems?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of work together because there are definitely strengths that each of us has, and so when we have our separate projects, I'll ask him for his advice, and he's a very strong manager of people, and so I've learned a lot from him, and like his financial outlook, all of that, I've learned a lot. I wouldn't want to work with him full time, though. I think that would be a recipe for disaster. But I can say about taking time for yourself, because when we first started dating, we thought that we were going to split because we didn't want to do long distance. And I took a job in California, and that was the best year of my life because, well, not year of my life, like
One of the, yes.
yeah, one of the best years of my life, because I knew no one, and all I did was go to work and then walk a lot and go to the gym, and I really got a chance to like figure out who I was. Especially I had experienced like a devastating setback season, and I really made some serious decisions about the way that the rest of my life was going to look.
Wow.
And I was able to build those building blocks there. So I think that is a really important time.
Yeah, you were able to pivot.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I was just thinking
Final
about very quickly what Erica was saying is, I think the difference in you moving to California but already kind of having somebody in place is your time in Sacramento wasn't looking to date somebody. Wasn't,
Yeah, you
why
were
can't I
focused.
find anybody, or I found 3 people you had the person you liked, so then that was taken care of, so you just had that year to figure yourself out. It was a very unique situation, and that's really cool.
Beautifully said. Okay, we got to talk about this character. You may know this character. Disney World is retiring one of its long-standing characters for being insensitive and outdated. Liver Lips McGraw has been a part of the Country Bear Jamboree for more than 50 years.
We're familiar, Sam.
I am, but the character is portrayed as drunk. Instead, the bear will be replaced by Romeo McGraw, who will have a new hairdo. But this got us thinking, is playing drunk on TV or in movies still funny? Back in the 50s, Lucy accidentally got drunk while promoting a drink called Vitamita Vegemin on I Love Lucy. Ross and Rachel famously got drunk, then married on an episode of Friends. And then there is the time the characters in Parks and Rec all got drunk on snake juice. There's also so many movies where the whole premise is that, like the Hangover. I almost call it The Hungover.
Yeah.
The Hangover.
It's a different movie.
As a comic, what do you think?
I think it's very necessary.
I just got that.
I just got it.
No, I think it's fine.
Is there a line?
No, we're talking about make-believe. And first of all, that's mimicking something that is in real life. A lot of time comedy is taking something that is kind of dark and is a problem for some people and making light of it. You hear comics talk about their divorces. You hear comics talk about their issues with their kids.
Yep.
Deaths in the family, having cancer. The light comes from the dark, especially in comedy. There's nothing funny about a beautiful day. It's got to be something bad, and not that alcohol is bad, but like alcoholism is, and kind of highlighting that, poking fun at them. Sometimes people watching, even though they realize it's a comedy, see some of themselves in that character, and they're like, maybe I should make some changes. So I say don't touch the art.
I agree, but I do think that there is a line in terms of like what we see on television or film, exactly the same way that there's a line of what we see at the corner bar. You know, like you see people out for a good time and they're, you know, in happy hour and something goofy happens and it's funny. But then 4 hours later, that goofiness becomes dark and sad.
Yeah.
So I think when
Liver Lips McGraw.
Yeah, so it becomes problematic. So I think when it becomes what's funny versus like, you know, what might be the actual reality of the situation could be two different things.
Yes. I didn't mean to make fun, but I mean, that bear.
That was funny.
Yeah.
The bear is terrifying.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And I think they should leave it up just for kids to be like, this is what we grew up with. So appreciate your iPad. We were terrified. This is the best case scenario for your Saturday.
I love it.
A drunk mechanical bear.
I like animatronics. Okay, so it's the end of the era for the Mirage Hotel. Can you believe it? The hotel was built back in 1989, and at the time, it was the world's most expensive resort, costing $630 million. It was also the first mega resort on the Strip with a live volcano explosion. Oh, I loved that. You could feel the heat.
Yep.
Just walking by.
Yeah, the heat was strong.
the
It's
heat.
fire, guys.
Okay, the hotel won't be torn down. Instead, it's going to be rebranded as the new Hard Rock with a 660-foot guitar-shaped tower.
That's cool.
And for years, of course, the Mirage was home to Siegfried and Roy, their magic show that included illusions and exotic animals like white tigers, lions, and leopards. It ended in 2003 after Roy was critically injured by a tiger during one of their shows. The duo had their secret garden and dolphin habitat on the hotel grounds, which closed in 2022. And the Beatles' Love Cirque du Soleil show also had its final show at the hotel earlier this month. End of an era. We've all been there. We never got to stay there because when I grew up, that was the fancy hotel.
Oh, I think my dad had business there, and we were able to see Siegfried and Roy.
Whoa.
And it was amazing.
But also a little antiquated.
Very weird, 'cause we would walk by your rooms and there's just a white tiger pacing and behind a glass right in the lobby, and you're like, well, that guy doesn't look happy.
Yeah,
That's
neither
weird.
did the dolphins.
No.
And the size of our desk, like the pool.
Totally. I do want to let you guys know that the Mirage had to give away $1.6 million in unclaimed jackpots before it closed. This is not a live view.
You're
but
not very busy.
No, but most people ran in and really said, my odds are better of getting that jackpot. So it got real busy recently.
Do you think that the Mirage closing is the end of kind of old,
a little
dirty
like
Vegas?
of the Strip, the
I feel like this
Sinatra?
is now family, you know, bachelorette party Vegas. And
Yeah,
that's what
old
makes
Vegas was very fun for kids. Excalibur, Circus.
Yeah,
Mirage,
but it used to be for
TI.
degenerates. That's what Vegas
Yeah, I see
used
what
to
you're-
be for.
yeah, like the
Where did they go
sands.
now?
The golden.
You guys
okay.
ruined it.
There's a place for
sad.
everyone in
No,
Vegas.
Vegas used to be a place where you could sneak away for 3 days, gamble,
No.
and smoke and do stuff you wouldn't do, and then go back to your hometown and lie about where you were. And now people's parents are out there.
No, that's.
I went when I was a
bachelorette
kid.
I
parties
went when I was
everywhere.
a kid. The 80s and 90s were huge for Vegas for families.
And then they went away from that because it wasn't working.
It was working.
It wasn't.
No?
No.
Oh,
This is
you're an
great.
economist now?
I am.
Okay.
Vegas Insider.
Coming up on DBL, which celebrity's mansion got flooded like this? We're going to talk all about the crazy video. And a single mother to a daughter with cerebral palsy is here to share
So excited.
the remarkable story on the way that she's aiming to change how we view disabilities in children's books. Wow.
From the time she was born, I've always just said to her every day, you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, you are smart, you was kind, you was impotent. But I've always just pumped that into her because I know the world will tear her down for a myriad of reasons. And so it starts at home, building her up, building her up. And now it's, I mean, who's the prettiest girl in the room? Me, duh.
What a strong mama. Welcome back. That was a clip from the last time we talked to Adiba Nelson. She's a single mother to a daughter with cerebral palsy and an author aiming to change how we view disabilities in children's books. So here to share her latest creation, please welcome back Adiba.
I think we know who the prettiest woman in the room is again. She's right here.
Thank you, thank you.
I love your comments. All right, since the last time we saw you, your daughter Emery finished her first year of high school. First of all, Mazel tov. Tell me how it was.
It started off a little bit rocky because it's a huge school and she's this tiny person. But now the school year has ended and she basically runs the place.
Yeah.
she is for Mama's Coffee.
Yeah. And listen, Emery has been the star of all your books, right? Yeah. So how does she feel about that? What does she think?
She's a celebrity.
She loves it.
She loves it.
Good for her.
But she also, on the more serious note, she loves seeing someone that looks like her in every form. A little black girl in a wheelchair, a black girl wearing leg braces. She loves that. So every time she sees that, she points and she's like, that's like me. I'm like, yes, babe, that's like you.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about your latest project, Ocean and Me. It celebrates your Afro-Latin culture and celebrates the love and beauty in all things. So how did you decide specifically on that story?
So I'm going to correct you, it's Oshun. Oshun and Me. She's named after an Afro-Latin Yoruba goddess. And my family is Afro-Latin. My mom is from Puerto Rico. My dad's family is from Africa. And I grew up with my mom's side of the family, and they were very religious, like Catholic, Methodist. And my one aunt, my Titi Aining, she had every saint statue in the house. Like you open the door, there's a bust of Jesus Christ, there's the velvet painting on the wall. You can't leave the house without touching the bust of Jesus Christ.
I love that. I heard Sam go, I love that.
No,
I said it out loud.
Yeah, I have something similar.
Yes.
I love that.
So it was all throughout the living room. But then you walk down this hallway and there is the linen closet that had all these other things. It had little cups of water, pennies, feathers, chicken feet. And I was like, what is this? As I got older, I learned that my Titi Aining also held very strongly to our Afro-Latin roots. And she had left going to the actual Catholic Church because they wouldn't accept, our practices of Santeria.
Right.
And these goddesses, Oshun, Yamaya, Chango, who is one of the gods, they're very intrinsic to Afro-Latin culture. It's one of the biggest religions, like Santeria, Candomblé, Vundun. Those are huge in Afro-Latin countries, Brazil, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti.
Yeah.
And I kind of wished that I had more exposure to that growing up when I was a kid, to learn this other side of my culture.
But that kind of leads to my question I have for you, because how do you now have the opportunity to talk to your daughter, so how do you talk to Emery about your different cultural identities?
So she knows she's Puerto Rican. She's very well aware of that. She knows that she's black. I ask her, I'm like, girl, are you white? She's like, no. I want to make sure I have a strong, proud black girl in my hands. But we kind of take it in doses and bites, because I'm not one that I don't want to push my religion, my cultural beliefs on her. I want her to be able to make her own decisions, but I also want her to know kind of our roots. This is what we believed in. This is some of the things that we practice. And we still honor some of those traditions in our home today. Like I do have an altar. I don't have chicken feet because no. But I do have some things that, my Titi Aining had. And so she's aware of those things, but I just want her to know that this is part of your culture as well.
I like that you didn't push the way some other people can feel pushed upon.
Right.
I appreciate that. What is the main message? Just so I'm reading Oshun and Me. What do you want the message to be?
So for me, the message in Oshun and Me is, you carry that strength and that beauty and that power with you everywhere you go, regardless of how you come into the world. One of my favorite parts about the book is that Oshun, like you see here, she's disabled, but that's not the main part of the story at all. But she's nervous about her hair. Her mom puts this shell in her hair every day, and she's like, why do I have, what is going on here? And so I want kids to be able to read this and see themselves, but be able to relate to being scared, but still being able to do it anyway. You have that power, you carry it with you, regardless of how you present in this world.
I love that the disability isn't the main thing.
Right.
Too. That's
and the
what
illustrations.
Stunning.
That's what I was
Ayana did her thing with these illustrations. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
The book itself, when I got the spreads, it just felt like a warm hug.
It felt
like
the colors,
very
everything
glowing,
about
warm.
it. Beautiful. Adiba, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming back to share with us. In fact, DBL Nation, you can pre-order your copy of Oshun and Me wherever you get your books.
Cool.
Make sure you grab it. I can't wait to buy one for my daughter, so thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you.
Thanks, y'all.
And we'll be right back.
Prettiest woman in the world.
Welcome back. When you take a bath, do you put anything in the water before getting in? Because it turns out some add-ins are great, but be careful because some things could lead to irritation. A study shows that the best thing that you can add to the water is Epsom salt. But get this, the worst thing you can use are bath bombs because they have dyes and perfumes that are harsh on your skin.
I just have to make a comment about Epsom salt because anytime anything went wrong, Big Mom would be like, go take a bath, put some Epsom salt in there, baby.
Yeah.
And apparently it relieves
inflammation.
Yes.
It takes the toxins out. It really does help. Athletes use it a lot. I've done a eucalyptus branch.
The
branch?
Yeah.
Why don't you just get the liquid?
Yeah, or why don't you
could've.
just get the actual dry eucalyptus?
Yeah, you have to take it
could've
back to 1648.
Well, I did, and it
Like
really
no
opened
leaves on it, just
the
the
branch, and I
That's
wanted it.
I don't believe that.
I had a eucalyptus branch.
I have a
Where did you get it?
Sprouts, and I tied it to the top, and you're supposed to breathe it in.
Yeah, but you had leaves all over it. It wasn't just a branch.
No, there were leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
okay,
just
because
a
I do
stick.
that too. I have a whole bush
Okay, it was
of eucalyptus in the guest bath. Oh, plug. Okay, Jacuzzi can help you take baths the right way. Jacuzzi offers an unmatched, stress-free remodeling process. Call 800-996-0017 or visit jacuzzibathremodel.com. Coming up on DBL, a celebrity shares crazy video of his home getting majorly flooded next. Welcome back. We have a special show coming up, and we want to hear from you. DBL House Call will be a whole show dedicated to the results, side effects, and miracles of people using weight loss drugs. Doctors will be joining the panel the entire hour to give their expertise. So if you have a question, it can be anything. Don't hold back about weight loss drugs for a doctor. Send us an email at info@dailyblastlive.com.
Or right.
Or what?
To me.
You're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor, dude.
Enough. You did go to med school.
That doesn't
That's
Grad
pretty
school,
cool.
not med school, babies.
Okay, grad school. Before we go, check this out. Rapper Drake is mopping up a mess. His Toronto mansion flooded after 3 days of heavy rain. The $100 million home that he calls the Embassy was featured on the cover of Architectural Digest back in 2020.
stunning.
I know. He posted this video on Instagram showing the mansion being flooded with brown, muddy water. Gross. And the captions Drake joked, "This better be espresso martini." That ain't good.
No, Al, you taught me about rotting too. And
Yeah, that water is, I mean, that might be the end of that home. Who knows? Let's hope not, because it's a literal work of art.
Yeah, because it's a sewage, like it could be a sewage, you can get rotting wood.
Right.
The house is like 100,000 square feet. I'm sure it's not the end of the home.
Yeah, they just don't go in the basement.
Well, do you know what's at the bottom of most homes is the foundation, Erica. And if that's cracked and rotted, that's not so good for the upper floors.
Well, he doesn't
Little
seem
homeowner's
too worried.
tip.
He's making jokes about it. I think he's okay.
for the
He's
homeowner's
okay. DBL is new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for joining us. Bye, guys.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The scams to watch out for on Amazon Prime Day. Plus, are Prime Day savings actually as great as we think they are? The fascinating way different generations use emojis. Is it really a universal language? A man goes to extreme measures, jumping into the ocean to avoid giving his girlfriend his phone passcode. Do you give your partner your passcode? And a single mother to a daughter with cerebral palsy is here to share the remarkable way she's aiming to change how we view disabilities in children's books.
Oh my gosh.
Get real.
No. Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Oh, welcome to DBL. for more than a week now, we've been talking politics, and not today.
No, please, no more.
No, Tori, you know you live and breathe it.
What?
You live.
Stop.
Are you going to be okay today?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, it's all right. Today we are going to talk all about Amazon Prime because millions of our viewers, all of us look forward to Amazon Prime Day, and today's the second and last day to get Prime Day deals. It's also big business for Amazon, who pays big-name celebrities like Megan Thee Stallion to promote it. But there is a dark side. The U.S. Senate is out with an investigation that found Amazon Prime Day is, quote, a major cause of injuries for the warehouse workers who make it possible. It's also a big chance for scammers to take advantage of all the people buying things on Amazon. So here's the question. Do you go deal hunting on Amazon during this event?